Hey everybody, it's John Chasing Majors. In today's video, we are going to continue the COMC Advanced Reseller Flipping series. In today's video, we are actually going to be talking about a Google Sheets that I've put together. That Google Sheets will help you guys along in this journey. Some of you guys may want to modify that, or you may have your own tools, and if you do, it's totally cool. But if you're new to this, and you're trying to learn how to price your cards and make sure that you're hitting certain profit margins, or if you're trying to keep a ledger of what you're buying and what you're selling, that's what this Google Sheets is intended for. You'll have an opportunity to download this Google Sheets for free. That'll be at the tail end of the video. I have made it available to everybody. There is zero cost. I just want to make sure that you guys have the types of tools that hopefully will get you guys started down this journey just a little bit quicker, and to ensure that you know exactly what you're buying and what you want to price those cards for. So today's journey, or today's video, we're going to be expanding this journey a little bit. I do want to mention part 5. I'm going to be talking about vintage sports cards and how I buy and list them differently from modern day sports cards. So if you're interested in purchasing vintage sports cards for your COMC store, you might want to check that out, because there is some buying strategies, there is some listing strategies that I do that are different than modern sports cards. Okay, let me get you guys over to today's video. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's John, Chasing Majors. Today, we're doing part 4. I think this is part 4 of the COMC video series. Today, we're going to spend some time talking about a Google Sheets document, which is going to be available for free to you guys. We'll talk about that here at the end of the video. But this Google Sheets document is intended to help you from a pricing perspective, as well try and keep an inventory. Inventory is specifically important if you are looking to turn this into a legitimate business, claim it on your taxes, and take some benefits, because there can be some benefits by, turning or having a kind of a side hustle in a legitimate business. I'm not going to get into some of those details. That's something that you should be considering doing your own due diligence on, certainly working with your own CPA or tax preparers to kind of work through what the advantages of doing some of those sort of things are. But I want to be able to provide 2 tools for you guys. So we're going to spend most of our time in Google Sheets today. And again, I'm going to make this available for free for everybody. Let me actually click on my screen. You guys are seeing Google Sheets, but this is the tool from a price check perspective. In this tool, you can put in a price. Let's say we want to buy a card for $1. We want to list it for $2. Column C is just additive. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit. There's really no function to column C. It's just something that sometimes visually it kind of puts your head in the right place. But what this will do is it'll do a bunch of the formulas for you in the calculations. You're going to pay about 10 cents in COMC fees when you sell your card. If you had it listed for $2, it's a 5% transaction fee. And so then it'll say, okay, are there storage fees? This is a manual fee that you would be able to put in. But essentially, it's going to tell you, if you were to sell that card that you purchased for $1 for $2, you're going to essentially profit, net profit, $1.90. So that's the dollar that you originally put into it. You're essentially going to have 90 extra cents that you're going to make on that card. And then your profit margin is going to end up being 47%. The table that's below this is just kind of a quick reference guide table with kind of whole dollars. So this would be your purchase price from $1 to $10. And then if you wanted to make if you want to make 35%, here's essentially what you'd need to list that card for sale for. If you want to make 30%, here's what you need to list that card for sale for, or if you want to make 25%, so on and so forth. So these are charts that I use fairly regularly, especially when you are new at building out your store. But it's a very, very useful tool. So let's go ahead and actually put this into practice. Let me share this screen. Hopefully this shares on StreamYard effectively. I just purchased this card. I currently have it listed for $2.15. When I went to make this purchase, I used Google Sheets. Coming back to Google Sheets, I knew I wanted to list this card for about $2.15. When I went to the offers, the seller was essentially allowed me to make a $1 offer. He then countered at $1.50. I countered back at $1.25. And the reason why I countered back at $1.25, because I knew that if I was to list this card for $2.15, which would make my card the cheapest on the platform, that I'm still going to make 38.8%, which is well above the 30% threshold that I want. So this gives me an opportunity to drop this card down. Say I want to make it cheaper to $2.10. Let's say somebody lists one for $2 and I want to come in right behind them and list mine for $1.99. I effectively know that I'm above that 30% threshold, and I know I've got some wiggle room. So this will help you from a buying perspective and from a listing perspective. And essentially, this is the tool that I used when I purchased that George Pickens card. So coming back to the George Pickens, just real quick, we're going to go into the managed price. Again, I paid $1.25 on the 4th, and effectively I've listed it for $2.15, which makes me the cheapest by 5 cents. So anybody who might be interested in picking this card up, if they were to come to this specific page, mine's the cheapest card by about 5 cents. And generally that gives me the highest probability that I'm going to sell this card. All right, let's jump back to the spreadsheet and let's talk about inventory. Now, I haven't put this card in the inventory yet because I just purchased this right before starting this video. So I'm going to go ahead and add this card to my inventory. And you can tell I've already added all the other cards that I've purchased, including this Jason Kidd rookie card that I purchased between part 3 and me making this part 4 video. So I'm simply just going to click on row 8. I'm going to copy and paste. And now I'm just going to fill out anything that's not grayed out. I'm going to go ahead and fill out. So let's go ahead, and this is an NFL card. It's a 2022. It's a Donruss blue. And you can choose to fill out or add additional fields to this as you see fit. But this is just a quick way for me to reference this specific card. It is a George Pickens. And let's see what card number that was. That was 323. I purchased it for $1.25. I purchased it on 9/4, and I have it listed at $2.15. Now, again, everything in gray is auto calculating for us. So what is in gray? Well, days listed. How long has this been listed on the platform? Currently 0 days because I just purchased it today at the time of making this video or right before making this video. But it's going to basically tell me a basic idea of how many days this card was listed on the platform. What would my estimated profit margin be? That's the exact same 38% that you've seen on the price check tool. The COMC fees, estimated COMC fees that I'm going to pay about 11 cents. The net sell would be $2.04. Once I sell the card, if I was to sell it for $2.15, I would essentially have a net profit at $2.04. And then my estimated net margin would be 79 cents. So essentially, after the fees that after the dollars that I use to buy the card, I would essentially have 79 cents left or in profit. Now, when I sell the card, I'm just going to add 2 pieces of information. Let's say I sold this card tonight on 9/4. And let's say that I do sell it for the $2.15. Now you're going to see the actuals kick in. Now the actuals at 11 cents, 204 for the less was the gross profit less the fees. The actual net profit was 79 cents. The actual net margin, and that's by a percentage, we made 38%. And the days to sell, it took me 0 days to sell, assuming I was to sell it on the 4th. If I was to sell it on the 5th, that's going to change to 1 day. Or if I was to sell this card for $2, Effectively, everything's going to auto adjust for you. And this is a good way to keep track of exactly how you're selling and what sort of profits you're making. To me, this is the easiest way to gauge whether the time that you're committing is worth continuing to buy and sell on COMC. And for me, I'm on COMC buying for my PC all the time. So if I'm just using some of that time to effectively, buy cards to resell cards, it just makes a heck of a lot of sense from my perspective. If I'm on these sites, I might as well be buying and looking to make some money, and then using that money for other cards in my PC, or using those monies, potentially for income in the future if it's something that you're, interested in building out. So this is going to be free for you guys. Let me jump over, share exactly how you can get access to this. Let me share this tab. ChasingMajors.com, that is our website. If you come to ChasingMajors.com, there is a new link. And by the way, this website is mobile friendly. So just drop down on the menu bar. You're going to see COMC Store. When you see COMC Store, there's a couple of things. If you want to come to my store and see what's for sale in my store, feel free to click this link. If you want this sales tracker, it's this next link right here. Now, when you click this, let me go ahead and click it. Let me share this tab. It's going to take you back to this. All you're going to need to do is, if you're not logged into your Google account, you'd need to log into your Google account. And then to save this, you just need to make a copy of it. When you make a copy of it, it's going to ask you to save it, or it'll say copy of COMC. You can name it whatever you want, of course. But when you make a copy of it, all the formulas will, stay in place. And effectively, this is a tool that you guys will have available to you as you're going through this reselling journey. All right, that's it for today's video. Part 5, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about vintage sports cards and how I typically buy and sell vintage sports cards, which is different. And I want to be able to provide some of that strategy for you guys. So we'll be going over vintage sports card buying and listing strategies. It is different from modern day cards. We'll go over a live example in episode 5 or part 5 of this video series. Of course, if you guys are enjoying this, if you're following along, you haven't subscribed, feel free to click subscribe. If you want to know when that next video is getting listed, go ahead and hit notifications. Any questions that you guys have, leave comments in the description below, and I will try and get to those as soon as I possibly can. With that, guys, chat with you guys in the next one.